The door snapped shut behind me, the sound far too sharp for that early hour. I understood before turning around that whatever once held this place together had already given way. The air inside felt staged, harsh disinfectant layered over decay, like someone trying too hard to hide a stain. My fingers trembled, but my thoughts stayed steady. I had learned how to stay quiet inside myself. How to watch. There were footsteps. The scrape of suitcase wheels across tile. My mother's laugh, strained, rehearsed, cut short mid-breath, followed by an unnatural hush. I stayed frozen in the hallway, 11 years old, barefoot, counting each inhale the way fear had trained me to. I didn't face them yet. I didn't need to. I'd been anticipating this return for 4 weeks. Now it had arrived. I once believed families worked like gravity. You could drift, but you'd always fall back into place. My mother taught me that wasn't true. She left on a Monday morning with a scarlet suitcase and a page of instructions. A month in Europe, she said, already distracted by her phone. She shoved a wrinkled $20 bill into my hand, as if tipping a waiter. Food. Emergencies. Everything. Then she walked out. No sitter. No neighbor checking in. No calls after the 3rd day. Just silence stretching so long it began to scream. My stepfather stayed. That was the deception hidden inside reality. He remained, but the way darkness remains, occupying space, observing, waiting. He smiled too often. Asked questions that twisted sideways. He counted the food. He counted me. Hunger stripped pride quickly. I learned how to deceive a cashier. Which lights to leave off, so the house appeared abandoned. And I learned that adults who plan harm don't panic. The warnings came quietly, like they always do. His bedroom door locked during daylight. His sudden interest in where I slept. His certainty that my mother wouldn't believe anything I said. I never accused him. I watched. Fear makes memory sharp. I noticed receipts. Dates. Messages left open on the shared computer, because he assumed I didn't know the password. I committed everything to memory. When he finally crossed the boundary, I didn't cry out. That bothered him. I stared at the ceiling, counting cracks, already rearranging the future in my mind. Some people survive by resisting. I survived by calculating. The breaking point wasn't what he did. It was what I found. Behind the Christmas boxes in the basement sat a container. Inside were photographs, not of me. Other children. Polaroids. Dates scribbled in my mother's handwriting. Travel itineraries. Conferences. Wellness retreats. The pattern snapped into place with terrifying precision. This wasn't neglect. It was cooperation. I sat on the cold concrete floor for a long time, holding evidence, so heavy it reshaped me. When I finally stood, something inside had gone completely still. Stillness is dangerous. Stillness brings clarity. I faced him first. He laughed. Said I was dramatic. Told me I should be grateful anyone wanted me. That was when the ground vanished beneath my feet, because I finally understood that monsters don't hide in closets. They stand in kitchens and ask if you're hungry. When I called my mother, the connection crackled across continents. She sighed. Said I was mistaken. Said I was ruining her vacation. I hung up before she finished. That was the moment I stopped expecting adults to rescue me. The investigation began silently. I documented everything. Names, dates, flights. I emailed myself files from accounts I wasn't meant to access. At school, I practiced saying nothing. I mastered invisibility. And patience. By the time their return date was circled on the calendar, I had assembled a weapon forged entirely from truth. Not shouting. Not threats. A reflection. When they walked in, I stood where they couldn't avoid me. The house no longer looked like a home. It was stripped bare. No photographs. No warmth. The walls resembled a courtroom. My mother gasped when she saw what had replaced the family portrait. Rows of printed documents. Flight logs. Financial transfers. Photos. Timelines. A map webbed with red string linking cities to children. Her lips parted. Closed. No, she whispered. This isn't real. My stepfather drained of color and reached toward me. I stepped away. I sent copies, I said, my voice steady.
To the police.
Social services. Your employer. Silence exploded.
She sobbed.
He cursed. They pleaded. I watched with the detachment of a scientist recording a reaction. What followed was loud. Arrests. Headlines softened by money, sharpened by proof. They try to call it confusion. Mental illness. Lies from a troubled child. None of it worked. Truth has no interest in reputation. I entered foster care, carrying a trash bag of clothes and a backbone made of steel. Therapy gave names to things I already understood. Justice doesn't feel good. It feels precise.
Clean.
Years later, I still replay her gasp, not with pleasure, but with closure. Because in that instant, gravity corrected itself. She saw her reflection in the destruction she had curated. And I walked away, not healed, not gentle, but free.